My name is Chavez Carter. I'm a Ph.D. candidate at Cornell University, and I study T-cell signaling in hypersensitivity pneumonitis. What brought me to immunology was that the majority of my research experiences, undergrad, were all in immunology. I went to a smaller college, which was Alcorn State University, and it didn't have a lot of variation in the research, but the research that we did have was stellar. And it was a choice between an immunology lab and a neuroscience lab, and I thought the immunology was a little cooler, so I decided to go into immunology, and I did that for the duration of my undergraduate years and kind of developed a passion for immunology and the study of the body's defense mechanisms. I'm here now and I really enjoy it. The most important aspect of immunology, I would have to say, is that what we use in immunology is translatable for most fields, whether you're looking at medicine, developing medicine, or you're looking at the body's physiology, or even just how the body works itself. A lot of that contextually are all wrapped around immunology, so it's really no way around it. My aha moment with immunology kind of came a little later on. As I mentioned earlier, I researched immunology throughout my entire undergraduate, and I liked immunology, but I hadn't developed a passion yet. And it wasn't until things kind of hit home for me. My father, my senior year, right after graduation, developed renal cell carcinoma. And in developing, which is kidney cancer, I kind of start to really look for reasons why someone can develop a cancer, looking at how people can fight cancer. So I read, I would say, hundreds of papers on immunology, hundreds of papers on cancer research and on pharmacology. And from there, that's kind of where my passion started, was when it kind of hit home. And then after that, I searched for a really good Ph.D. program in immunology and infectious diseases and pathobiology and found myself into the field. This is actually my first AAI conference, and it's been amazing for me because the wealth of knowledge that's here and the actual transfer of that knowledge it's been amazing. It's been something that I've looked forward to, and I've been looking forward to for a while. So to actually be here and to actually interact with the people that wrote the papers that you read, to interact with some of the reviewers that will hit some of your papers, I think it's amazing. And also the actual being here amongst other scientists. So just the camaraderie and the fellowship between other science and engaging in that scientific dialogue is amazing, and as well as the resources. One thing that they talked about yesterday, I believe, was networking. Use the network and actually engage with the people that you're here with. And I've tried to utilize that to the best of my ability. Yeah, I've gone to several presentations that are, well, what I've tried to do is take a strategy to go to presentations that kind of concern my research and the things I'm doing in the lab, and then go to the presentation that has nothing to do with my research. I believe in gaining and developing a diverse outlook on science, and that's what this conference has allowed me to do, is to continue to engage and continue to develop a further diverse outlook on science. So I'm adding tools to my toolbox. One funny story that I have is that I remember being an undergraduate, and my professors at Alcorn State University would complain and talk about how they had their cots in the lab and how they had their sleeping bags and pillows and stuff like that. And it wasn't until I remember the first time bringing my sleeping bag into the lab where I kind of felt like, okay, I'm a real graduate student now, I have a sleeping bag.